Roundtable talk, roundtable talk. Good morning, YouTube. I know I've been off the scene for quite some time. Well, it seems like it's been quite some time. It's been a while, but been busy. But I'm back again, and I'm here to talk about a subject of worthy consideration, and it's one that my brother Fred from Barbershop Conversations brought into play in a video that he dropped about yesterday, and it was about Kelly Swanson having so much power within the PBC organization. Now, granted, Kelly Swanson, she's a major figure for them and in the boxing world, but the power that she's been granted to do things that would be considered irrational, things that would be considered unfair, things that would be considered to be biased, and things that would consider to be outright racist and have racial undertones to them and overtones. For her to be able to do these things without any disciplinary actions or a thought or motion to even uh, refrain from doing those things or not continue those actions is something to be questioned. And of course, the the onus is going to be brought up to Al Haymon because in the perception of the public eye, especially the black community, we see Al Haymon as the man of PBC. We know for sure that he gave birth to the idea of the business strategy that he applied with the creation of PBC. Of course, we know that it's a partnership venture because he had to go to other investors. He had to go to other businessmen to join in with him. But we all know that he's the genius behind the operation and the idea. But at this point, all that Kelly Swanson has done and has said. And let me say, I don't know Kelly Swanson personally. I don't know Al Haymon personally. I know Al Haymon. A lot of good things have been said about him. I do believe the man is a genius. He has a lot of business acumen. And I can't really place no judgment upon him because he's a man of not many words and he really doesn't allow uh, the public to opportunity, or he doesn't afford the public the opportunity to get a real detailed read on him. All we know is that he's a genius for doing uh, the things that he's done with PBC. I don't know Kelly Swanson personally, but by way of their actions and the things that I've witnessed personally at the times in which I've accompanied Fred to some of the events that we've been on, I can say that it arises and brings into question her motive, her intent. I know when we were at the fight, Fred was giving an interview to Benavidez, and I noticed Fred and myself both noticed Kelly Swanson giving attention to the security that, she sent the security over to Fred, letting them know, hey, all interviews need to be stopped. But this was in direct connection with the relationship that she has with Fred. You know, she made this move to stop him from doing his job. Now, that raises the question, along with other things that has been done in the past, from her saying nobody wants to hear black stories. That's crazy. Like, black people, we gotta have something. Like, we take pride in something. We take pride in PBC, especially those who've been on the front line for PBC. All of Fred, LDBC, everybody who stood behind Al Haymon in his business venture, then and now and through the whole process. These individuals have been denied. It's funny because I got a text this morning from a brother on the East Coast. He asked me, did we have credentials to get into the fight? And I told him, I said, nah, we're going to still be there, though. And he said, man, I'm tired of the politics and the bullshit in this game. And I said, yeah, man, it's crazy. It ain't no respect or no honor for a hustler, somebody that's really out here putting in the work. you got to be in with the program and in with the politics, with the kiss ass and all the nonsense that really should be void. That should play no part in the job that those individuals do and the the sacrifice and commitment they take on covering media and helping out the boxing community in a whole. It's crazy because her name, Kelly Swanson, has been the name that has been tied to all these things. Uh, that's the common feature. She's a common feature in these topics of conversation. She's a common denominator. You know, she's a PR person. She's a media she does they media inquiries. Now, she shouldn't be making media members' job hard, especially in this sense. It's like it's a direct attack on black media. Just the fact that she says she doesn't want to hear, nobody wants to hear black stories. Now, even if I was to advocate for Kelly Swanson and say, oh no, she's not racist or she doesn't dislike black people, because some white folks take the stance that I'm not racist, and sometimes they have a ignorant perception. They just really don't know enough about black culture, enough about our struggles to really be able to uh, empathize with us. You know, so a lot of times when they make quick decisions or quick judgments, it's not based off uh, a fair perception. You know, they coming from the standpoint of white privilege. So a lot of times it would take them to backtrack, retract, come back again and say, I had to think about it. But the fact that she hasn't even done this and she's just persistent in the same type of behavior shows, one, that she really doesn't care. But again, if I was to advocate for her and say, oh, she isn't racist, and she just made a harsh statement, it wasn't thought upon. The fact that she hasn't came out and she still continue to do the same thing, that's absurd to me. Like, that shows her intentions, you know? I'm gonna give you a personal experience and my personal stance on all of this, especially as it pertains to race. I'm not a race sensitive kind of guy. I would be the first to tell you, and those who know me closely would be the first to tell you that I stand for what's right first, and I'm a human before I'm a black man. Of course, I'm biased to my black folks, my black people, of course, but wrong is wrong, right is right. And from my experiences with white folks, whether they racist or not racist, many of them really don't understand or have any clue or idea of our culture in its entirety, or even in the simplest of forms. And I can say that based on my family, me having Caucasian members of my family, blood relatives. They told me this: the only way a white person is going to understand what it is that a black individual goes through is if they have a black child. That's the only way a white person can really understand in detail, with emotion, with empathy, what it is for black folks, what it is that we go through mentally and emotionally as we project ourselves into this society. Now, I'm not a person that a black sympathist either. I'm not that person either. Hey man, get up out here and do what you got to do. Grind hard. Put the weight of the world on your shoulders and make it happen. Yeah, we're going to have to work 10 times harder. We're going to have to be 10 times stronger. But hey, we built for it. And guys like Fred, I know for sure. One thing I can say about that brother, and we don't agree on everything, but the common grounds of agreement that we do have on any level is when it comes to this black movement. And I personally told this brother that if he would have passed before me, what I would say at his funeral was that he had the desire, the intent, and he made an honest effort every time in which he could and had the opportunity to help a black person, whether that be man, woman, girl, boy, child. He made an honest effort and attempt with words and deeds to help black people. So I personally can stand by and feel the emotion that he feels with what he's been doing and how he feels that he's being attacked, because that's what it is. And not only him, other people have been attacked, but Fred is one of the pioneers of the media that actually states what a lot of people want to state and put it on the line. And again, I don't agree with everything that brother says. We have conversations about this all the time. We agree on most things. Some things we have differences, but we always able to talk, and we always able to see each other's side of the coin. But this right here, I have a unanimous agreement that Al Haymon needs to step up. I know you're not at the ground level, Al Haymon, and you have a lot of business ventures. You have a lot of things that you got going on. But at the same time, you've heard about this problem that Kelly Swanson has posed to black media members. You know what's going on at this point. And after that video, I'm quite sure you know what's going on. I believe you owe it to your ground supporters, those who was there for you throughout the whole process of establishing PBC and getting coverage on the movement and everything you was doing. And Fred been there from day one. So at this point, something needs to be said. You know, a meeting needs to be arranged. Something needs to be done. You know, and don't take it as oh, he's nobody or they are nobody. Nah, these people are somebody. These people have power. These people have influence. These people are helping shape the minds of the boxing community, as well as the boxing fan. They helping draw interest into the boxing game, which is helping your pocket, which is helping your movement, which is helping your business ventures. So at this point, Al Haymon needs to come out and address Kelly Swanson publicly, because with anybody who has a mind that can think logically can see that this is looking like white supremacy. It looks like she's inflicting white supremacy and her power and her influence in a negative manner, because the same tactics that's being used by the powers that be, she's using, because the first thing that they've always done and that they're going to do first is they're going to insult your intelligence. When you come out and say something that they don't like, they're going to insult your intelligence. That's the first thing they're going to do. The second thing they're going to do, they're going to tag you or label you with a term that's either radical or rebel. They're going to term you that, and they're going to publicly embarrass you. So the same way in which she has shown that she's attempting to use these tactics is the same way she should be administer her discipline. It should be public. It should be in the public square. Al Haymon should let it be known that he should come out. He doesn't do interviews much, but he should let it be known. This type of thing cannot take place in the organization. Just the fact that she said nobody wants to hear black stories. What? Last time I checked, PBC stars are black fighters. The bulk of PBC stars are black fighters. So how is it that nobody wants to hear about black stories? These stories need to be told. They have to be told, and they have to be told to the people who can most likely and most closely relate to those stories. Black people. Can't nobody else tell our stories better than us. Because we're going to tell them with truth. We're going to tell them with emotion. We're going to tell them with passion. So this is something that has to be addressed. Al Haymon, come to the forefront. The It's already spilled over. Everything's to the forefront. Everything's to the light. It's time for you to come out, be a man. Like, why is PBC being represented by people who are not black? Like we don't even see Al Haymon. That's, to me, that's mind-boggling. You know, we know that the man behind PBC is a black man. So as far as we know, that's what we know, so-called. Who knows? At this point, it's questionable. Because why aren't you using the power that's vested in you to make public appearance? Like, we want to see, for us, that's pride. Why is, when you think of PBC, it shouldn't be associated with Kelly Swanson. That shouldn't be the first name. Like, this negative publicity that she has brought upon PBC is at the face of a white woman. It shouldn't be that way. We need to see black leadership. And part of creating that mental belief that we as blacks are powerful, we as blacks are equal. And to say equal is like basically saying we've succumbed to the idea of inferiority, and that's sad. But to see that black people are worthy of the positions that we carry, worthy of being mentioned, worthy of consideration, like, we need to see a black representative anytime PBC is publicly on display. When PBC is being aired to millions of people, we need to see a black face. We need to see black faces. Period. Point blank, period. End of discussion. It has to happen. So, shout out to all y'all brothers, man, that's been pumping the reel. I know it's a hard job. I'm new to this as far as the boxing media, but one thing I'm not new to oppression. I'm not new to discrimination. I'm not new to racism. I'm not new to the machinations of, the systemic tactics that's being used for years against black folks. I'm not new to none of that. I'm very aware of what's going on, and for me to make this video means that it struck a chord within me to even speak out publicly about these things. But I know the struggle that Fred has been going through for these last couple of months. Well, actually, this last year, rather. From the moment he told me, it was earlier this year, maybe. Yeah, earlier this year, maybe January. And I know the struggle that he's been facing, and I also know the good that he's been doing. And then, as I've been able to see that there's other brothers like him that's doing good in the community, in the boxing world, that's being ousted slowly, and in a tactical manner, they being ousted, denied credentials. Like, that's crazy. That's nonsense. Like, and then for this to be done on PBC Watch. Nah, Al, you got to come out and say something, man. You got to come out and address this publicly. Not in no private room where ain't nobody else is invited, so we don't really know what's going on. No, make a public announcement. And like I said, I don't know Kelly Swanson personally, But anybody that can make an educated and rational decision can see that the things she's doing, it isn't right. And it's an attack against black media members. It's an all-out attack, you know. So Al Haymon, do what you got to do, brother. And to all y'all brothers, LDC, LDBC, Fred, everybody that's doing their thing, all media that's pumping out pure, uh, unadulterated, straight content, keep doing what y'all doing. Anybody that's willing to stand up for what they'll die for, my vote is in for them. And especially if it's the right thing. Like I said, I seen this brother personally, Fred. I seen him personally do many right things, not just one time, multiple times. So it has impressed upon the authenticity of his character. I've witnessed that personally, so I can say that I'm in definite agreement with what he's going through. I can feel it. So y'all chime in on the discussion, share the video, get in the comment section, let me know what y'all think, and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and y'all have a good day. Take care.